Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय ओम श्वाद परमहंस परिव्रजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमधीश डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम श्वाद परमहंस परिव्रजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 6, Text 35. Vidya Tapo Yogapatam. Vidya Tapo Yogapatam. Vidya Tapo Yogapatam. Astitam Tam Adishwaram. Astitam Tam Adishwaram. Astitam Tam Adishwaram. Charantam Vishwasuhurdam. Charantam Vishwasuhurdam. Charantam Vishwasuhurdam. Vatsalyal Lokamangalam. Vatsalya Lokamangalam. Vatsalya Lokamangalam. Vidya Tapo Yoga Patam. Astitam Tam Adishwaram. Charantam Vishwasuhurdam. Vatsalya Lokamangalam. Vidya Tapo Yoga Patam. Astitam Tam Adishwaram. Charantam Vishwasugurdam. Vatsalya Lokamangalam. Vidya Tapo Yoga Patam. Astitam Tam Adishwaram. Charantam Vishwasuhurdam. Vatsalya Lokamangalam. Vidya Tapo Yoga Patam. Astitam Tam Adishwaram. Charantam Vishwasuhurdam. Vatsalya Lokamangalam. Mataji. Vidya Tapo Yoga Patam. Astitam Tam Adishwaram. Charantam Vishwasuhurdam. Vatsalya Lokamangalam. Vidya Tapo Yoga Patam. Astitam Tam Adishwaram. Charantam Vishwasuhurdam. Vatsalya Lokamangalam. Vidya, knowledge. Tapaha, austerity. Yoga Patham, the path of devotional service. Astitam, situated. Tam, him, Lord Shiva. Adishwaram, the master of the senses. Charantam, performing austerity, etc. Vishwasuhurdam, the friend of the whole world. Vatsalya, out of full affection. Lokamangalam, auspicious for everyone. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The demigod saw Lord Shiva situated in his perfection as the master of the senses, knowledge, fruitive activities and the path of achieving perfection. He was the friend of the entire world, and by virtue of his full affection for everyone, he was very auspicious. Purport. Lord Shiva is full of wisdom and tapasya austerity. One who knows the modes of work is understood to be situated on the path of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One cannot serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead unless one has achieved full perfectional knowledge in the ways and means of performing devotional service. Lord Shiva is described here as Adishwara. Ishvara means controller, and Adishwara means particularly controller of the senses. Generally, our material contaminated senses are apt to engage in sense gratificatory activities, but when a person is elevated by wisdom and austerity, the senses then become purified and they become engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is the emblem of such perfection, and therefore in the scriptures it said that Vaishnavam Yata Sambho. Lord Shiva is a Vaishnava. Lord Shiva, by his action within his material world, teaches all conditioned soul how to engage in devotional service 24 hours a day. Therefore, he is described here as Loka Mangala, good fortune personified for all conditioned soul. Let's chant Mangalasharam. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnana Dana Salakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Bhutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijane Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhobhyeva Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktaravinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I'll take the blessings of all the Vaishnavis assembled here and all my Siksha Gurus, mentors, and to my Guru Maharaj, and then Srila Prabhupada, so right words comes on the right time. Today it's a very beautiful verse. It mainly talks about the qualities of the devotees. First, before going to that, let's try to understand what is happening or happened so far. So we all know that Mother Sati had quit her body, and then Lord Shiva came to know through Narad Muni, and then Lord Shiva has become very angry, extremely angry, and then he created a black demon called Virabhadra. So, and then he went to the arena, sacrificial arena, and then he took the head of the Daksha and then threw it in the southern side of the Yajna, right? So, and then they made it so much devastated and everything. All the followers of Lord Shiva, they all went to Lord Shiva to meet the Lord Shiva. So then what happened? Who are the members, existing the members, priests, demigods and everyone, with these things, they don't know what to do. They went to Lord Brahma to seek the guidance. In this situation, what can we do it? So when Lord Brahma heard everything, though he knows that what happened, so it's one of the very important point. He said, Lord Brahma says, you cannot be happy in executing a sacrifice. Even if you do a sacrifice, you cannot be happy if you blaspheme a great personality and then you offended the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. That's a one very important thing we need to have thing. So that's the one thing he told it. And second thing is, you are all offended to the Lord Shiva, so now you have to go and beg forgiveness from him. So he just say that go and beg his pardon, so that Lord Shiva is thing. And then he said that Lord Brahma will warn the demigods, even Indra, myself, no one can know how the powerful Lord Shiva is. So we have to be, how can you commit offenses under the lotus feet of Lord Shiva? So that's something he just tell it. And then the demigods are go. So we have seen 14 verses of the beautiful Kailash Mala, how the serenity is the one. So now they are in all the demigods in the Kailash hill. So where Lord Shiva is seated in a big banyan tree. It is said that it is 800 miles high and then it spread across 600 miles with such a big banyan tree. And Lord Shiva is sitting underneath with the saintly persons. If you look at that one, 4 Kumaras or the Kuvera and all the saintly persons will be sitting around the Lord Shiva and then will do it. So now the demigods are seeing with that thing, and then they are just thinking on see the Lord Shiva. They are what their observation on Lord Shiva. This is a very important one, right? So the demigods are Lord Shiva situated in perfection of master of the senses. So that means he is a master of the senses, knowledge, austerity and yoga patham. That means he is in the path of the devotional services. So that's one of the quality. Then the last important point is he is full of affection, vatsalyas and lokamangalam. So any devotee, see, that's what Prabhupada says that one, right? Lord Shiva is a Vaishnava Yatha Sambho. He is one of the topmost devotee. So they are all lokamangalam. So that means auspicious for everyone. That's a very important one thing to do it. So how do we understand this quality? How do we know that one? Like, let's say if you look at the Prabhupada starts with the Lord Shiva is full of wisdom and tapasya, austerity, right? So without knowledge and austerity, Prabhupada clearly says that we cannot, if we want to know, let's say to improve in our bhakti or to devotion service, we definitely need a knowledge and then the austerity. See, this knowledge and austerity, it's not only for devotion service. Even if you materially want to do it, we cannot, without a knowledge or austerity, we cannot progress on it, right? Then how do we really differentiate what is the knowledge and then thing? Let's look at first knowledge and then we see what the knowledge of it, what's the wisdom, right? So our Guru Maharaj always says that one, when he graduated from Yale, and then he joined the university at the year 1. He went and then told to the university, I want to find the solution for solving the humanity crisis. So I want to find a solution for that one. So then all the professors said, yes, you have done a very good thing. So the universities are really meant for that purpose. You can study whatever you want it. At the end of the 4th year, we'll figure it out what degree to be given to you. You can do and then come and tell if you have found the solution. We could have also done, but we are not brave. So that means they are the professors, they know that it is, if you found it, tell me, because we don't know how to do it. So that's a thing. So my Guru Maharaj, then what he did all the studies, economics, sociology, politics, science and everything, psychology, everything. Then eventually he decided there is no material solution in this world to solve the humanitarian crisis. So within the 6 months he went to the ashram of the one. So every person's the thing, we know that there is no material solution of it, right? Dhruva Maharaj is clearly says that. So if you have anything, material activity means it's like it will lead into anxiety. So Dhruva Maharaj says that one, it's not something we do a material activity, we'll get into anxiety. If we start thinking itself, we'll get anxiety. That's what the Dhruva Maharaj said at that one, right? So one of the very beautiful points by the Prabhupada, he has given a very nice analogy of what is the transcendental knowledge versus the worldly knowledge. What's the difference between these two things? He has given a 4 beautiful points. Let's look at that one. So the number one, he's telling the transcendental knowledge is coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that means it's a complete authority. It's always a full. So even if you read Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken 5,000 years before, it looks like it's now they are telling of problems, solution for me, right? Whereas in the worldly knowledge, it's because of people's limited and faulty worldly minds. This is keep on changing it. It is not something, even for example, if computer science, we know that 20 years before what we study and what we read now is not the same. Any thing, right? Even medicine and everything is getting changed, evolving it, right? So that's a thing. That's the first point from the Prabhupada. Second point, Prabhupada is telling that this knowledge comes from the Krishna. It gives, it is his mercy for our material and spiritual benefit. So the knowledge doesn't give only the spiritual, it's also material. Even we know that all the Vedas, so even if you have, even for example Ayurveda, even if you are unhealthy, it gives our material benefits. So that kind of a thing. Whereas the only knowledge, what Prabhupada is saying, it does not have any ultimate benefits. It's maximum what you'll do is, it will make you entertainment or titillation or a distraction and those kind of one. So if you look at our material knowledge of things, okay, I'm just anxiety and thing, okay, to distract your problem, we do all the mode of ignorance activity or kind of one. That's a thing. Then the third is very important point, what Prabhupada says there, the actual knowledge, which gives the, which makes us relieve from the illusion, and then detachment, it will help us to get that detachment of the material world, right? So whereas in case of worldly knowledge too, it more into a illusion. We ended into a illusion. We think that okay, I get this, I'll be happy. I have this, I'll be happy, and then we have a more attachment, and that is what will happen in the worldly knowledge of the one. The fourth point is that the ultimate, the benefit of the wisdom of pure devotional service, we get it from the transcendental knowledge. So it will enable us to have a word of love of Godhead. That's one thing. Whereas we know that worldly knowledge, it doesn't counteract any miseries. We will just have even again same all the birth, disease, old age and death. That will keep on continuing it. So that's how Prabhupada has analyzed what the difference between the knowledge, right? So our Guru Maharaj always says that one. So we need knowledge, either even or thing. We want to be happy. Happy also we need a knowledge. Let's say you want to be happy. Let's say I want to go to a restaurant. I will be doing which restaurant has a highest rating and what is the one. So we need a knowledge. Then only we then, okay, I'm going to a restaurant, I go a best restaurant, what is the one. So we need a knowledge. But we know that what the knowledge or the wisdom what we are following always end up in a misery or kind of one. So another one beautiful example Prabhupada gives that one, or so Vedic knowledge does not stuff a child with the information. If you look at these days, knowledge is like, it's a information. Somebody knows more information, they are more knowledgeable kind of one. Whereas Vedic knowledge, it is not just about stuffing lot in the information, it builds the character, it transforms the individual person of it. So that's a very important aspect of the knowledge. If you look at any, even in schools these days, it's not like, I don't know, but Australia here in where we brought up, character is like when we are kids, there are a lot of emphasis on developing the character. These days it's not that the case, unfortunately. So building a character is, or becoming a moral or things are like little concern on these days. So that's a thing. Prabhupada always, it's one thing we need to really understand the Prabhupada genius of it, right? He always takes a Bhagavad Gita or any scripts, he gives us what the knowledge which even can apply it now, which we don't know how to understand or not. That's the thing. So we would have read that I'll build a temple, Jihu temple story by Giriraj Maharaj book. So where so there was in Varata, which in Maharashtra, there was a one Gita seminar that's been planned. So there are a lot of 10-15 big sages, saints, Bajaj, he's one of the rich person, he conducts that seminar, he invites all the people to have it, where Prabhupada also been invited, and Maharaj and a few other people will be joining them, right? So if you look at the Prabhupada one, so Prabhupada is telling all the solution in the world, the Gita is Gita can provide a solution for all the problem one. So then they want to have a conversation. There it will be like Vinod Bhave. So he's one of the advanced spiritual person. So they want to have a thing, but he cannot hear it properly. So they want to have written it. So Giriraj Maharaj has written all this point. So if you look at that book, Prabhupada has written 32 points how all the solutions in the Gita can be there for all the problems in the humanity. So he has given 32 points. It's tell that how the beauty is like he will just tell that how the spoiled human civilization, for example, how that can be corrected. And then he gives a quotes, which is the Gita, the one. So 32 points, all these things is be written in paper, and then that will be there in the book. Along with that, all the 32 points, and Prabhupada, what he will be writing in is, and then A, B, C, D, like that, he has a 10 another additional points. Also that tell that one for overpopulation, what is the real cause of the overpopulation, whether overpopulation is a problem or not. So he has given all the one, and then after all writing everything, Prabhupada will ask Maharaj whether this is sufficient. Yeah, this is thing, because every point he written is almost a big paragraph. That's a thing. So almost a 10-page documents or thing he has written and given it. So that's how the Prabhupada is doing it. Now, if you look at that one, even for us, it's always, we can just go, one of the problem, we can just take it, how Prabhupada has given it, that one, right? So, also one thing is, if you look at the knowledge, it's not only things, our devotees are, let's say, very smart and practical as well, right? So this is from the Yamuna Devi Mataji. We know initial 6 devotees Prabhupada has sent to London to start the one. After in US it were successful in ISKCON, he want to spread it across the world. So he sent the 6 devotees in that, Yamuna Mataji, Malati Mataji, and the 6 people devotees, they will go it. They are having very austerity, and then if you look, they are very smart. So they know that Beatles, George Harrison, he was inclined to spirituality in things, right? So they want to have a connection. How they can have a connection? So what they did is, they'll prepare every day. They are apples. Their brand is apple. So they'll prepare some prasadam based on apple. So, and then they'll give that one. So it'll go from the ground floor. They'll take small, and then they'll go to let's say George Harrison. It's like they'll go. They keep on giving the prasad, make every day. After some point of time, they stop giving the prasad, and people are wondering, I used to have a nice prasad every day, where it is missing. Where is my dessert? I'm not getting any thing. And then they come to know who was giving it. Okay, until then they didn't know who was giving that prasad, why they are giving it. So once they stop, they know that, okay, who are giving. Then they come and talk to them, and then they have things. That's how our Govinda Madhi Purusham and lots of things which George Harrison has done. So devotees, they are very knowledgeable. They use all the knowledge. That's what Prabhupada gives, tell, right? It's not only the knowledge gives only the spiritual, even the material or whatever it is, they knows how to do it, how to drive the best of it, right? So that's the one thing we can think, knowledge and the wisdom of what we get it, right? So then the other important aspect is like the thing is tapo, austerity. Austerity is a one very important one, right? So austerity, everybody has it. See, if we cannot say only spiritualists have austerity. I don't know how many of you knows the schedule of your bodybuilders, right? If you look at their schedule and then what they eat, they are very meticulous. Even these grams of food only they will consider. Even everything they'll take in a grams, and then their schedule is they start their day at what, like Manglarti they start at 3:30 or thing, then have a very thing. Even they have to be very careful on number of kilometers they run it, because they don't want to run a lot because their muscles will go it. Such a austere life. But whether what is the use of that austerity, even if you look at, we study a lot, what is the purpose of the being austerity, right? So when you talk about austerity, let's take a few of the one, right? So what the Prabhupada austerity, right? When Prabhupada in 1965, when he went to the United States, he was almost 69, 70 years old. So he had two heart attacks and while going the Jaladuta. So he don't have any money. So Prabhupada, he was telling to Vishaka Devi, Vishaka Mataji, she has written in her book, 5 years, 11 months book. So she has written beautifully one, what the Prabhupada says, and then she explained that to the Yamuna Mataji and others one. So Prabhupada says that one. So he don't have any money in the New York, he'll be starving. He can have only one meal a day. He can't have multiple meals, only one meal a day. And then he said that I have, and then during 1965-66 was the coldest winter of the 40 years, last 40 years. That's one of the very coldest winter when the Prabhupada landed it. So, from India, we never seen snow, maybe either hardly a few places they would have seen a snow, that thing. That in the cold winter of the New York, it's very hard to survive. So Prabhupada is to have that kind of a thing. And then one day, in such a kind of austerity situation, he comes one day and then he saw whatever he had in his home, like a tape recorder or a typewriter, everything has been stolen. He don't know what to do. Then one person is invited him to come to Bauri. Bauri is one of the toughest place to live in that one, but Prabhupada went. Since he called, he don't have an option, he went. So what happened, again that person, he was like a crazy person, he shown a very ferocious. Prabhupada has to run away without anything. He has just have to walk away with his dress and thing to save him. All the 4 floors he has to get down and run, and then he has to go. So Prabhupada says that one, he has a very problem of $250 is the rent, which is very huge money, and then he had a lot of difficulties in that one, right? So, and then he gives a very thing. Prabhupada is, they prepare a prasad and then it has to be in the refrigerator. Refrigerator, he'll see there is a meat will be there. Prabhupada could not tolerate it. So, but with so much austerity, Prabhupada has built this ISKCON, has given us the one. Right? That's how the austerity. So if you look at what the purpose of the austerities these people take, that's what we need to learn it, right? We these days we all go to Mayapur, Vrindavan, we say, wow, nice thing, right? If you really read Milwaukee to Mayapur or Yamuna Devi Mataji about the one, how they are austerities and build it, right? I just want to quickly tell one of from the Yamuna Devi Mataji book. So Vrindavan, they have, it is under very tremendous situation, they got the land and then they are building the one. So they are staying in a place, few of the Matajis and Prabhus in separate, they are staying, where they don't have any proper place to take a bath. It will be very cold, in the midnight they need to go. We know that Vrindavan is one of that area of the India is the coldest place. So in the water they do, one day they are going for a water. In that water there is a dog was inside that one. The dog has so much of pusses and everything. It has a thing, and then she was there in the water. So they don't have option. They have to take a bath and go to have Mangalarti and everything. They just means send the dog off. They have to take a bath in that kind of water. That kind of austerity they all take it. Even the same thing, I'll build a Juhu temple. If you read it, it's a full of austerity. Guriraj Maharaj will say that one, right? So when they started the Pantal and then they got the Juhu land, and Prabhupada said that we'll build a temple and thing. They don't have any place. It's full of mosquitoes and thing. And then they have, and then somebody come and stolen something from the deity. Prabhupada was very furious. You are not taking care. And then the devotees will sleep in front of the deities. That place, they don't have anything. Such a austerity they are doing. With that benefits, what we are getting it now. Even so, in that one thing which I liked it most is the Tamil Krishna Goswami Maharaj and Narayani Mataji, they will be telling. Everyone think that devotee has taken so much of austerity, but the mood of them is like Radha Rasa Bihari has taken so much austerity for us to be present. So that's how they thought it. They didn't think that I am having so much of austerity of the one. So that's the mood. Because of our thing, Radha Rasa Bihari is having so much of austerity. It's a full of, that book is full of so much of austerity at every place they take it, right? So, see, austerity is happening everywhere, every time. We need to really think for what reason we take doing austerity, what is the purpose of we are doing it, the austerity, like the knowledge, it's for our sense gratification. If you look at the purport, Prabhupada clearly says that one. See, we are all try to do a sense gratification, we do anything so that we just gratify our austerity. But whereas if you look at the devotees, how they do it, that is a thing. One of the very beautiful Bhagavatam sloka, Yama Adibar Yoga Pataha Kama Loba Hatam Muhu Mukunda Sevayada Tatat Mada Nasmati. It is in general being practicing restraining senses of any yoga system, one can get relief from the disturbance of desire and lust. That's a very thing. Even any yoga or even it's like, right? Why do we say that when you read, you don't watch TVs or exam time? Because you don't get a distracted, you get your thing, concentration and focus thing. So any yoga, anything, we get a restraining our senses, we get a relief from the disturbances, some kind of a release. But only that's not the importance of it. The importance of Mukunda Sevaya, that's not a sufficient. That's what Sukadeva Goswami says, that satisfaction is derived only from the devotional service to the personality of Godhead. Right? So we are not here to just to control our desire or anything. We are here to basically to purify our desire thing. Prabhupada, if you look at in the first canto, if I correct, it's on chapter 6 where he writes lot of places about the one. So he says that every person thinking, feeling, willing cannot be stopped at all. Everyone will have it. Even if I'm just sitting alone, I'll have something thinking, or I may have willing, or I'll be feeling about something, or some. He said that there is nowhere we can stop that one. So he's telling that we need to convert that one to become put a Krishna as the center of it. He given one example also. It may be like, don't talk about the politics of a dying man. You talk about the politics what Krishna has done in the Dwaraka. So if you are interested in politics, so that's how the Prabhupada brings you, how do we can do it, right? So that's the reason of it, right? All the Vaishnavas, they take all the one, it's all for the auspiciousness for everyone, right? So we all know that one, Vasudeva Datta, right? So he's one of the exalted Mahaprabhu thing, right? He tells to Mahaprabhu, Jivera Dukha Doki Mora Hridaya Bidare Sarva Jivera Papa Prabhu Deha Mora Shivare. So he's telling, oh my Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, my heart breaks, Mora Hridaya Bidare, my heart breaks. Why? When he sees the suffering of all the living entities, all the conditioned soul you see in that one. So what he is praying to that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarva Jivera Papa Prabhu Deha Mora Sire. You give all the sins to on my head. So that is what he is praying it. He didn't pray for anything. He is trying to take austerity of all our problem, right? So what he is telling, Jivera Papa Lana Muni Karun Naraka Boga. So I'll go to the hell. I'll have the one. Sakalara Jivera Prabhu Guchaha Bavaroga. So that Bhava Roga, material, all their material diseases, Roga means diseases, all their material diseases can get rid of it. So that's what the thing is praying on to it, right? So that's how the Vaishnavas are. I'll just tell one last pastimes in related to this. I hope you'd have heard about Narshing Mehta. Yeah, he's one of the exalted devotee from Gujarat. So means in Gujarat they call him as a Adikavi. Doesn't mean that there is no other poet before, but he's one of the prominent person. He's one of the pure, very exalted devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. So there are lots of stories. I'll take one small story, the important for here. So what happened? So he's very poor. So he's always into Lord Krishna. He's always sings about his glories and everything. He'll go into a trance when he started singing about the glories of Lord Krishna. So one day his father's Shraddh ceremony means it's like his brother used to do it. So that year his brother said that, no, why should I do always every year? You also have to do it because you are also one of the son, you do it. He said, okay, I'll do it. And then Shraddh ceremony is one of the biggest ceremony in the Indian ancient culture. So his wife will be asking, how can you do it? You need lots of money, you need to invite lots of people, everyone in the village. We ourselves don't have anything to eat. How can we feed everyone? He'll say, it's okay, no problem. And then and then he'll go and invite every people in the village, and people will be laughing, or they'll just sarcastically may come and, okay, everyone will come, we'll bring all our friends, relatives and everything. So he said, yeah, that's very nice, please bring them everything and do it. And that day comes, and Shraddh ceremony, his wife is telling, today is the one, people will come, we don't have anything in the house. Okay, what do you want now? Okay, first at least I need a salt. Can you go and get the salt? Okay, I'll just go and come. He'll go to shop, ask for a salt, and then they ask money. He said, I don't have money. In one shop he goes, salt. Okay, I'll give you a salt on a condition, you need to sing a song of Krishna. So he'll start singing the song. He'll forget everything. He'll keep on singing the whole day. What happened? Meanwhile, his wife, he comes and gives the salt to his wife, and then okay, now salt is there, where are the foods, where are other things, ingredients to prepare food? Don't worry, you open that backyard, you can find all the foods are there. She opened and saw so much of ingredients and things. Oh, so much you got it, how do you get it? That you don't worry. How can you prepare? I am alone, I cannot do anything. Oh, no, that's okay. Then there is another one, Mataji, she comes with a fully jeweled and thing with utensils. She'll cook the one. So how can I serve all this thing? I don't have any shabby dresses only. I don't have any other dresses. Don't worry. Here there are so much dresses. You wear it, and then all the people comes. Don't eat prasadam with normal your saris and thing. You take all these things and do it, and then they do. Everyone was very happy and satisfied and everything. So, and then they all ate and then went. And if you look at the other end of the one, our Narshing Mehta is keep on singing in the one. He realized, oh, now it's 4 o'clock. I'm still singing with getting the thing. Then he got the salt and then walking. And all people are coming, and then they will be praising him a lot. Oh, it's such a nice, we never had such a amazing prasad and everything. So he was wondering what is going on. Then he gone and find out Lord Krishna, Dwarakadesh, he has come as a Narshing Mehta and then given everything. And Rukmani Devi herself has come and cooked the one, prasadam for her. So the very important point, the pastime here is, if you want to understand the Narshing Mehta more, we need to understand one of the one. When he was young, so that long story short, I'll cut. When he was saying he didn't have parents, he was with his staying with brother house, and then the in-laws was not that one, and then he found one time, okay, it's too much, I cannot, it's a thing, he don't know what to do. He go and one old temple where to Lord Shiva, he will pray for 7 days. Then Lord Shiva comes. And then when the Lord Shiva comes, Lord Shiva asks, what do you want? He don't know what to ask it. He was just, since his in-laws, brother-in-laws, their problems, he went there and think, he don't know what to ask it one. Then this is the beauty of the nourishing method. Then he finally asked it, Lord Shiva, please give me which you have, which is the most important and most important one, what you have, the best what you have, please give me. Then the Lord Shiva will give the blessings of Krishna Bhakti. He didn't give any material of one. That's how the nourishing metta became a Krishna Bhakta. So that's one thing we need to do it. Let's sing one prayer from the Vishwanath Chakravarti Chakur, which is from the Sankalpa Kalpadruma. Vrindavane Vanipate Jaya Soma Soma Maule Sanaka Sanadana Sanatana Narade Gopishwara Vraja Vilasi Yugangri Padme Prema Prayacha Nirupadi Namo Namaste. So Vrindavane Vanipate, we know that Vrindavan Gopishwara, he is the gatekeeper of the Vrindavan. Any dham if you go, there is a Shiva is a gatekeeper. We cannot enter into any dham without the blessings of the Shiva. So this is the one for the Gopeshwar Mahadev, the singing. So, O gatekeeper of Vrindavan, O Soma, all glories to you. O he has decorated with the moon. We know that Lord Shiva has a moon. That's a thing. Soma, Soma Maule. So, who is worshipable to all the sages, Sanaka, Sanadana, Sanatana, Narada, and everyone is worshipping him. What they are worshipping it? Gopishwara Vraja Vilasi Yuhangri Pate. So they all desiring that you bestow upon me pure love for the lotus feet of the Sri Radha and Krishna. That's the one. They all pray for that one. So who perform pastimes in the Vrajadham. I offer my obeisances to you again and again. So that's what the mood. So let's summarize the one. So today the purpose is like the sloka talks about when the demigods come to the Kailash hill, they see the Lord Shiva. When they see the Lord Shiva, what their impression they have is, he is full of wisdom and having austerity, and then he is the one full of affection, and then he is a Loka Mangalam, auspicious to every living entity. That's a thing. So that's how the feeling of it. So Grindraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I stop here. Any comments, corrections? Yes, Prabhupada. Yeah, Prabhu, as you mentioned, as far as what I know, it's between those two, one spiritual and material world. So it is a one. So if you look at that one, even Kuveras and everyone is there. Definitely that may not be the spiritual world. That's what my understanding. Prabhu. It's not exactly in the spiritual world, but that's something. Maybe I may not be wrong. Maybe Prabhu or others may have it.